Damn, boy. He can speak like he not stupid.
Nasty Labs. Nasty Labs.
Welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, part of the HyperX podcast network. We're the podcast and game studio Chuhai Labs, where we talk about games, game dev Japan, and whatever else comes up. And as always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark. So open yourself up, Chuhai, and let's go!
Let's go, Kinsey, Burke. Whoa, that was a swish. You fucking nailed it. You know you did too. I like for podcast listeners, she's smiling her ass off. She knows that she exceeded at
Best
that
one yet.
intro. Yeah, it probably was. And every time she always kind of flubs it. And the last 3 times, she's not been fucking it up. She's been doing awesome. Kinsey, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic. It only took us, 23 episodes or so for me to get that right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
22.
Pretty good.
I think you did it. I think you nailed it last time. We've got a guest with us today.
Hell yeah.
We've got a certain Adam Bolton here in the Chuhai Lab studios.
It's
Adam,
me. Hi.
Adam, for those
I'm here
that,
finally.
For those that don't know, Adam Bolton is XQ Games. He's XCNet, ex US gamer. He's all over the map. Where are you now? Who the hell are you, Adam Bolton?
Hi, I'm Adam Bolton. We know that already.
Yeah?
Established that a few times. Yeah, where am I these days? I work for X Plus, which is a small indie dev studio based out of Osaka.
Yeah.
Nice.
We made kind of like a pixel platform RTS last year, April, called Smelter.
Yeah.
We just published our first title, Super Samurai, a little while ago.
Sick.
So we're doing publishing, dev, porting, localization, all kinds of stuff. Just like a small team.
So you're all over the map over there. You're wearing the many hats as a lot of us indie devs do.
Sure.
You've been in Japan for
Oh god, it's almost 11 years.
11
now.
years.
11 years
In games for
Damn.
about 11 years.
I got here like 2 months after the big earthquake, tsunami earthquake thing. I was a disaster volunteer originally, and then it's just like May is always kind of like my anniversary, and always kind of sticks in my head because I came here for like big things, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good radio.
Well, I didn't bring it down.
Well,
Still
yeah.
good, so happy, still cheering.
And Adam and I have known each other now for many years, coming up on, I want to say 8 years. We met each other in Busan at Busan Indie Connect.
Was it? No, we knew each other before then.
No, we met each other at Busan Indie Connect 2.
Why?
Anyway, we've got a pretty good show.
No. So, I remember you asking me, I was like, oh, can you remember how we met? And I was like, yeah, I think I know. And I thought it was 2017 at a Q Games party first.
Maybe.
See? I think I'm right.
Okay. He might actually be right. Then we haven't known each other for that long. We've known each other for 5 years. All right.
Yeah.
That's still a long time.
Yeah. So, without, what are we doing today, Kinsey? What the hell's going on?
Well, we have a great show lined up for you guys today, as always.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting with What Up, where we talk about what we're playing, we'll move on to our main topic, which we have a guest. So it's easy to decide what that is.
Who's that?
And then we're going to be moving on to news, and then we'll answer your questions.
Hell yeah.
All right, and now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And the rule I made up just a few episodes ago is that guests go first. Adam, what are you playing?
First. Oh, okay. I wrote a list down.
Yeah.
So, people ask me, how can you play so many games? I dabble. Right. I buy stuff every other week. So, actually, one of the games I've been playing mostly out of the whole list, I'll just kind of focus on that, is Nobody Saves the World.
Nobody Saves the World. Go tell us about Nobody Saves the World.
Ah, it's dope. So it's from the people that made Guacamelee. In that kind of...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right? Those devs. Juicebox Games?
Juicebox.
I don't know if I'm right. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's very different from what they did last time because, Guacamelee is, platformer, kind of like luchador, kind of wrestling kind of thing. So they went for a RPG, a very grindy RPG,
right?
But grind in a good way. Do you want story synopsis and stuff?
No, just the overview. Also, I've never heard grind be used in a good way.
That's the thing.
Until this
game
moment.
does grind.
I like grindy games most of the time.
within reason. This one does it,
Okay.
does it very well though, because like your character is just like this blank slate, kind of like just basically a naked little white skinned dude, and everybody like says, "Where's your pants?" But he has the ability to change shapes, right? So he has this magic wand, and he can assume different forms as he levels up. So he could be like a little rogue character or a little knight character, but then the further up you go, like the skill tree, unlocking all these classes, the weirder, more obscure it gets.
The visualization, you mean? Or
Just the character and the playstyle as well.
Gotcha.
So you can be like a horse, you can be like what can you be? You can be a little slug.
You start out as a human and then you become a horse slug?
Yeah. So
Cleric?
all of these like classes, they're so unique to the game, and like they have their own kind of like abilities. Later on, you get to unlock them and kind of like swap abilities with different classes. So you could have, like I mentioned, a rogue earlier on. They shoot bows and arrows, shoot arrows, right? And you can have like a horse that's shooting arrows as an attack.
Oh, okay.
So you can start kind of mixing.
So it's like cross-classing all the way up this skill
all the
tree.
way up. But the grindy stuff comes from like every quest, every like kind of activity you do gives you more kind of like points into like unlocking more skills, and you're constantly like getting more ways to like improve your character and stuff like that. It's very quick, easy way to like blast through quests, get to the cool dungeons, get new skills, get new classes. It's just fun.
It's a dungeon crawler style.
Dungeon crawler, very kind of like cartoony, kind of like
some Diablo.
very, very stylized. Very, very stylized. Obviously, I can't like show anybody here. I should have pictures or something.
Well, we're an audio thing, so
yeah.
It's like Diablo, but it's pretty.
It's like it has like a kind of cartoony kind of visual style to it. Very kind of like a visual kind of like humor and
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those classes sound really cool. Like
there's
you can cross class, but you can also like almost like polymorph. It's wild sounding.
I don't know
but it
how many
sounds
classes
cool.
in total you can be, but it's probably like closer to like 16 classes. You can just switch through like 6 at a time and just kind of like have all these customization options and stuff. So I'm probably not selling it really well because
you're doing a great job.
I'm doing
in fact,
phenomenal job.
I'm gonna go home and play Are You Afraid of the World?
No, nobody saves the world.
Nobody saves the
Please don't.
You were so close, Mark.
Oh my God! Please don't do a Steam search for that one. But it has co-op as well, which is actually very dope. So I want to do some co-op with that sometime, somewhere down the line.
All right. Are you playing anything else right now?
Wow. I started playing Cyberpunk again last night.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, because they had the big update
pushed
yesterday,
out
right?
1.5 patch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 40, almost 50 gig, I think, of update. It is huge.
Damn.
And it's a lot of like tremendous like quality of life kind of improvements. Not just quality of life, but like legit improvements and additions to the game. You can now, customize your character mid-game now, which was a big thing for me.
Oh, cool.
You can style your character, give them new hairstyles and all that kind of stuff.
You couldn't do that before?
No, you were locked
that's
into that
odd.
character. I'm not here to disparage Cyberpunk and stuff like, because I one of those people that really loved it. But yeah, you can buy apartments now. They've added 4 different apartments, new weapons. These are actually classes like DLC in the update itself as well.
And Kinsey sound effect real quick.
Yeah, these are all pretty cool. There's lots of neat stuff there, and they've added like a bunch of stuff they're just not telling people about for like discovery purposes. So there's a lot of new content, and it glides so well now on my PC.
Oh, that's great.
Usually I had like frame rate issues here and there, but it feels fresh. It feels like a bit of an overhaul for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a game I want to check out. And like, even when it came out originally, the only reason I didn't buy it is because I didn't have like a next gen system to play it on at the time.
Me too. And I absolutely.
But it's definitely
would've bought
something I'm interested in.
Yeah, it was around the time that Cyberpunk came out that like all of the PlayStation 5s just didn't appear, and they still haven't really appeared.
Right.
Yeah.
But I managed, because of that, because I couldn't get a hold of the console, I managed to snag like a 3060, like a NVIDIA 3060. I was like, yeah, if I can't play it on my console, then I'm gonna have a beefy kind of graphics card to like ray trace everything.
Right.
So
Yeah, totally.
I got that in preparation for Cyberpunk, and it's been doing pretty well.
Very cool.
Nice.
Are you gonna beat the game again, or is it new content, or like a new?
Yeah, I
new
mean,
DLC,
I
or-
started a brand new character again last night, so I spent like way too much time like recreating a brand new character. I spent like hours on it, and yeah, starting from
always do
scratch,
that.
just to see if they've put anything, if they've done any new kind of like updates or kind of additions to like the starting, prologue, I guess. But yeah, fresh run on Cyberpunk.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting. I mean, as Kinsey and I are both New Vegas fans, so I imagine that it translates pretty hard into replayability and just infinite diving in. And
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, you can definitely see all the quality of life improvements they've added, and just kind of it feels like good. I like I said, I liked it before, but now it feels like, okay, this is getting to what it should have.
what it was supposed
Yeah.
to be.
What it was supposed.
What it was meant
Again,
to
I
be.
don't want to say
well,
that.
here it is.
'cause
I mean, maybe it just needed a little extra time to cook in the oven.
They
you know?
have given it that extra love to like really kind of round it out, I think.
Well, I want to fucking play it. Kinsey, are you
Me
gonna
too.
fucking play it?
I do want to play it. Once I get that PS5, whatever
Yeah,
that
and
may
that's-
be.
that's true.
I
Yeah.
would say it's great for you two because you two haven't played it, right?
Not at all.
So
Mhm.
it's going to be a blind experience for you, and I think you're coming in at the right time.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, as an avid Shadowrun fan when I was a kid, and I never actually played Cyberpunk the tabletop, but like that's like the genre for me. But I just didn't have the console.
Mhm.
I just need a console. Just give me a console, baby.
Good console. If anybody has a spare PS5, you know who to
Yeah,
go to.
actually, I don't want a PS5. If anybody has a spare Series X, yeah, I'm picky. All right,
Let's not
I want a Series X,
start a
baby.
fight. Got
I mean, I don't really care about consoles that much. I'm gonna let me go next because mine isn't as
it.
good.
I will let you go next.
because mine. I thank you. Because mine is not nearly as good as Kinsey's. I'm sure. So right now I'm playing the Dreamcast.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
Wait until you hear what he's playing.
Wait till we've got me. So my good buddy RJ is a technical wizard, and he helped do some modifications on a Dreamcast for me. And so right now I'm playing a lot of games, and maybe I have all of them. We'll never know.
Oh, I love that.
Maybe. Very convenient though. I'll tell you that. Especially, so he modded it, and it's got everything on it. It's got HDMI out. But right now, I'm playing a flying game called Toy Commander. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It was published by
maybe.
Sega. It came out, I want to say 99. I want to say, but it's army men. Like it's Sarge's Heroes, more or
Right.
less. It's in that genre of you're in the world, like you're in a kitchen or you're in a kid's playroom or the backyard, and you're just like a miniature tank or you're a miniature plane or whatever. The controls are a little wonky because it's 1999, but it's just there's something really nostalgic about it, and also like I'm trying to pull some inspiration of kind of future projects. It's kind of it's half homework and half me trying to have a little bit of fun. But I'll tell you one thing: the Dreamcast fucking rules. News to everybody here 30 years later, it fucking rules. And it's my first Dreamcast, so whatever.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking exciting.
It's like that birthday you never had.
I mean, Dreamcast was for like rich kids where I was from, all right? So not everybody
Yeah,
had
no,
them.
I get it. I grew up. My first like console was an Amiga, so I didn't. My parents didn't get me like the big, Master Systems and
Right.
NESs and SNESs. And all that, so.
Right. Well, I think it also has a lot to do with like the market area where you're at. Like I think
Yeah.
in some regions the consoles just didn't perform as well, or they weren't like marketed like. But all the same, I'm having a good old time with that. I've got 4 controllers. I've got a CRT TV, and I'm having a good time. Kinsey,
Nice. Got to play some Sonic Shuffle.
yeah, I gotta play some.
Pre Mario Party. Not nearly as good as Mario Party, but still fun for somebody.
Yeah, some Clue Land. I actually don't
When we
know.
find them, I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of games on there. Crazy Taxi, and I played Tony Hawk 2. I know, like I've played that on PS4 a bunch, but I played that on the Dreamcast for the first time, and holy shit, it looks fucking amazing. Like it's really impressive that Tony Hawk 2 looks so good on the Dreamcast. It plays like butter. It plays better than I could possibly have remembered. Yeah, Dreamcast rules. Gonna be playing a lot of that. So if you like Dreamcast, send me a message. Kinsey, what are you playing?
So I recently played Toem. I believe it's called, the full title is what? Toem, a Photo Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an adorable, like, hand-drawn game. It's all black and white.
Mhm.
Basically at its heart, it's an exploration game, and you go through a couple different levels that are all based on, like, Scandinavian something. Scandinavian places.
That
I
narrows
was
it
like,
down.
I don't know where I'm going with
Scandinavian
that.
runes, Scandinavian edibles, Scandinavian
Scandinavian
mushrooms.
Scandinavian locations.
Oh, tight.
That's the word I couldn't think of.
Okay.
Basically, there's like a foresty type level and like a snow level and like a seaside level kind of thing.
Is that
But, like-
necessarily Scandinavian, though?
Well, we don't know. She's saying like maybe it's got fjords, dude.
Fjords.
Give her some slack here. All right, continue.
But it's so cute and it's so much fun and it's so like cozy and you can like unlock different songs as you go through it. So then like you can listen to like a slightly different soundtrack if you want. And it's basically just like, it's just photo mode. That's the game. But like each time you go to a new place, what I kind of actually really like about it is it starts a little bit like a Pokemon game where it's like your mom being like, oh, you're going to go off on your adventure kind of thing. But it's more like she's like, here's a camera and like you can go off on your adventure. And like the whole thing is like every time you get to a new level, you have like this community card or once you get so many like points from like helping people in the community, then you get a stamp on your community card that means you can take a free bus ride to the next town. And that's how you unlock the next level. And it's pretty cute.
You get a bus pass.
You have a bus pass.
You like beat a boss and you get a fucking bus pass.
That's
What the
its own
shit?
reward, Mark.
God damn.
Free travel.
But it's so fun because you're like going around all these different levels and you can like take all these pictures and you get all these like little quests and a lot of them are like a little bit puzzly. Like someone will be like, oh man, I wish I knew a tune I could play on this guitar. And there's like some old fisherman humming and you can see music notes above his head. So then you can take a picture of those music notes and like,
No, I was about
it's
to
like
say.
a whole thing.
This is like, so we got photography, fishermen, and guitars. This is Mark Lentz, the video game.
Yeah. But hold on. No. Good point. But also, so it's in Scandinavia. Maybe is he teach you some like black metal songs, and he's got the face paint and like long blonde hair and like.
God,
No?
that would be amazing, but absolutely not.
All right.
But it's a super sweet game. I think the one thing it suffers from is that it's kind of short because I wanted to play more of it and I almost 100%ed it. I think I really only have like maybe one quest I didn't complete. And like, I think it was probably like 3 hours all the way through. I just did it all in one sitting because I was having a fantastic time playing it. It's like for people who really like the like cozy game kind of genre. Actually similar to like unpacking, like it gave me similar sort of feels where like it's just like a nice cozy game I could put a big old blanket on
Aw.
and have my Switch and have a cup of coffee and it just feels great.
You know,
I loved it.
a side note, you said that cozy game thing, and I was thinking there should be a cozy game genre where you like wake up and you're like warm in your blanket and you move underneath the pillow. There's a sawed-off shotgun, and you're like, the day is gonna be a good day today. And then you just You just murder people needlessly. All right, that's my pitch for a game.
Nice. You know,
Cozy game.
For the
I'm
cozy
sure they're
game
out there. I'm
genre.
sure they're out there. But it's like, isn't like wholesome like a genre in itself now, because there's things like the wholesome direct.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
it's
put holes in you.
Yeah.
It's wholesome.
wholesome.
Oh,
Oh dear.
okay. Yes, there's wholesome.
Or you
games.
can like no, never mind. I was like, or it's just about donuts. But then I just thought about Donut County, and I was like, oh, they've done that,
Yes. Yeah.
with the sawed off.
which I also loved.
You're just shooting black holes, just
Yeah, there we go.
spreading out. Devolver.
Oh,
I'm ready-
now I want
ready
to do
talk.
like a shooter that's in space, but the gun you have creates black holes.
See, with your sawed off shotgun, it's underneath your pillow.
Mhm.
You're just
Yep,
drifting,
and
through
that's how it starts.
through space, just kind of
And
like
it's
sucking
cozy.
up galaxies gradually. It's kind of like a Katamari kind of thing, where it's like first it's a planet, first an asteroid, then a planet, then a solar system.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Coming soon to HyperX.com, HP.com, and more fine retailers. HyperX, right, Kinsey?
That's right. They have the HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless, and the Cloud Alpha Wireless gets up to 300 hours of battery.
Fucking shit.
You'll spend less time charging your headset.
You'll never fucking charge again. That's like days. Up to 300 hours of battery.
2 chambers.
0 wires.
The new HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless. And without further ado, we're here for the main topic, and the main topic is our friend Adam Bolton. Adam,
Yay!
Yay! Adam,
I love talking about myself.
you've been in the industry now for like around 11 years, kind of like when you yeah.
Not 11. Like, it took me a while to get like set up.
Yeah,
in
well, take
Japan.
me back. You let's start with like how long you've been in the industry and where you started and what got you your foot in the door. Like, did it start with you coming to Japan, or like give us the
So
way
I
back?
think it was like a couple of years into me arriving. It's around 2013 that I really kind of started to like get into everything.
Right.
So as I said, I started out as a disaster volunteer when I first got here.
Mhm.
But while I was kind of like doing working a teaching job, I was looking for other things to do, and I'm a creative writer on the side as well. I love writing, and I found a Writers Wanted ad in Metropolis magazine, which is like an English spoken like just kind of culture magazine.
It's like a
free
tourism magazine, sort of, right? Yeah,
based out of
in Tokyo.
And
Oh,
they had
cool.
Writers Wanted, and I was like, I can write. What do they want? So I ended up writing this 800-word article about my volunteering experiences, and then they like the editor, just like this really cool guy called Jeff Richards. He just snapped it up straight away, paid me like $100 for it,
Right.
and then it's just like, cool. I'm now a published journalist, and I was like, from there, just going about doing doing the teaching job, commuting everywhere, and I'm looking around on the train, and everybody's playing like Puzzles and Dragons on their phone. I'm like, that's cool and all, but there's some pretty dope games out there, even for like mobile. There's some pretty nice premium titles out there, like Monument Valley and stuff like
Right.
that. And so I had the idea of like, well, why didn't I pitch the idea of a column to my editor? I mean, I got along with him pretty well. I was like, maybe I can make this fly. And it worked. I got a nice little kind of like regular column in the magazine each month, writing like 4 reviews of mobile games. And then that eventually opened up getting my very first press pass to TGS.
Nice.
Which is dope, because I'm like,
what
oh,
year
wow.
was that?
Hell yeah.
That was 2013, I think.
2013. Got it.
And that's when I met a lot of cool like indie devs, and I can walk around, and I met all these cool people, and I started to like really trying to push myself to like start interviewing people and writing stuff, and just kind of like filling out my repertoire of writing,
Right.
my portfolio a little bit. And then from there, I just started learning more about the indie community in Japan. It took me a while. I did like a couple of years of just going to like the events, TGS, and then eventually Bet Summit. But it wasn't until like 2015 there was like a small indie event called Indie Fest. It was based out of Akihabara, which eventually became Tokyo Sandbox. And that's where I started to like get introduced to to Otaru.
Okay.
Otaru being the local game dev kind of like drink up every Thursday.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, it's so cool, super cool.
I mean, and that goes back. There's like a lot of history behind that. That goes back to like 2001, like started by some of our friends, Jake Casdell and John McCarty and Mark McDonald, sort of.
It was John that actually became a very good friend of mine. I eventually, after years of just kind of like hovering around and kind of like participating, I was a journalist. I wasn't game dev at that point, so I kind of like felt like the outsider looking in for a while.
Sure.
But then I decided I wanted to change that, so I actually kind of like took on some responsibilities of running the event as well. So I became like a co-host of Otaru for like 5 years. Taking all the money, breaking kneecaps when they're not paying and stuff like that.
As one does.
As one does. And yeah, just through that, I got my first actual real kind of like opportunity in game dev before I actually started working in the industry. I did a little bit of localization editing for a little unknown title called Kingdom Hearts 3 through a friend of mine.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Indie titles, man. Sometimes they fail. So yeah, I mean, I got that through a very good friend of mine, and that was like my first legitimate AAA credit in the game. And then I think it took a while, and eventually, just kind of by putting myself out there and hanging out with you and getting to know you and everybody in Kyoto and Osaka and just like the general Kansai area. Kind of Bit Summit was a big part of that as well, of my kind of growth. Yeah, I landed a gig doing the marketing PR stuff after you left Q Games. Mm-hmm. So I took this guy's job.
Mm-hmm. Snatched it.
Actually, people put my name forward for that, and I'm very happy. Thanks there. Yeah, that was a great learning experience. That was my like real foot in the door. And then, changing things up a little bit, I did a little bit of work for some other kind of like indie dev titles that internationally, just kind of doing their PR and marketing externally. And then I got the job at X Plus.
X Plus.
Doing the same kind of thing, but a little bit more hands-on with
Sure.
some of the stuff that the greater company does.
That's great, man. Like, you've had like a pretty storied like a career so far. I mean, and like the reason I find it so interesting is that it's very similar to Kinsey's story. It's very similar to my story. Like, it's the alternative path. Like, you kind of figured out your way in.
Mm-hmm.
As like a lot of people, like, they go the traditional route, and like yours is just like, let me try this other thing. Like, how do I make it work?
Yeah, like obviously I've been playing games since I was very, very young, and like you grow up and thinking, oh, I want to be making games and have all that, and like some people take that and they go to college, they go to university, study up for it, and then they get a job, like an entry level job in like the the position that they want, and that's how they get in the industry. But yes, we did things kind of like on like the scenic route, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Actually, not necessarily the straight line. So like you've been in the industry now for more like started as a journalist and then localization editor, then PR and marketing. Now you're the mini hats guy over there.
Yeah,
like,
there's a little bit of like promotional stuff as well. So a little bit of a background, like X Plus Games is a small corner of the office of a much larger company. Right. We're a team of 5, but we all do lots of different things. The greater company itself actually makes it does multiple things. Actually, it started out as an apparel company, making like tote bags and accessories and stuff like that. And then eventually they moved into collectible toys, like premium collectible toys. So any like Ultraman or Godzilla statues you see out there, we even like have contracts with the Ray Harryhausen Foundation. So all of those old movies, we do premium quality models of their their franchises,
Wow.
their IPs, and so yeah, I'm like in my late 30s, and I work in video games, and I get to play with toys.
Is your house filled with plastic
That's
crap right
awesome.
now? Like just tons and tons of shit.
No, I haven't been at the company long, so even I get a discount, and maybe I can like swipe something from the stock.
You hear that? Future. He's stealing shit already.
With permission, you have to like clear it ahead of time.
Maybe I
but,
could swipe a little this.
I could fill my apartment out with like really cool kind of like kaiju everywhere, and that's pretty dope. Especially want some of the Ray Harryhausen stuff because I love those movies. But yeah,
That's
so
pretty exciting.
many hats.
Yeah.
Working small team, but yeah, like I said, I mentioned briefly earlier on, we do not just game dev, but we do porting, localization, and publishing. Always kind of trying to expand and find new projects to work with.
Heck yeah.
Our most recent title that just came out we kind of like staggered the release was Super Sammy Roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of a 3D platform adventure with like with like a roll mechanic. So it's kind of like a little bit of Sonic, a little bit of like Marble Madness kind of stuff. But it's some really cool. It has like grappling. So like Super Sammy Roll, Sammy being like this little lizard character that kind of rolls into a ball. There's a lot of bouncing. Has like a tongue, like a chameleon tongue that you can use as a grappling hook.
Oh, cool. Almost
it's-
like Chameleon Twist.
Oh, shit.
But also maybe like that game, I guess.
That was a deep cut. Sorry. It's like on the Nintendo 64.
Chameleon Twist.
I wonder,
Super Sammy
I
Roll.
wonder if the dev knows about that game. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. It's now on PC, Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S.
Nice.
Internationally, so we started out in the West, in like the US and Europe first, but as of February 10th, it came out in Japan as well. So it's all fully localized.
You're doing the hard sell over here.
Congratulations.
The hard sell, yeah. So Japan, if you like
Hell yeah.
Japanese games, buy
Buy them.
Yeah, it's made in Japan, man. So it's a cool, really fun platform. It has some dope music. We've got an excellent composer that we work with called
Very cool.
Evader Music.
Evader music.
Evader Music, really dope guy, very versatile. Yeah.
So you got that game. I've played one of your games. I played it at Bit Summit. Batboy.
Batboy.
Tell us a little bit about Batboy.
Oh yeah, so Batboy.
This is kind of your bread and butter, right?
We started out with Smelter, which was that platformer I mentioned at the very beginning. Keep an eye out there for that. We have fun stuff on the way for Smelter.
Heard it here first, guys.
Smelter. He who smelter delter. Sorry.
You laugh and you apologize. I've made that joke many times before at the office. But yeah, we're working on Batboy. Batboy is going to be our next big title. It is very cool. It's got a very neat kind of like concept. It is trying to sum it up, it is a Sentai sports hero action adventure game.
Oh,
It's
right.
8-bit.
Yeah.
It, again, got a dope kind of like music score to it. It is a very fun, very accessible kind of like platform adventure game. You play as Batboy, a Sentai hero who's, his kind of like his abilities are baseball themed. So he takes a swing with his baseball bat. He can deflect as well. So there's a lot of like, there are like enemies that are also kind of sport themed. So you have like the enemies are mostly called pigsies. There are these kind of
Just like baseball.
humanoid pigs, right?
Pigsies.
And some of them are they're pitchers as well. So they will throw balls that you can knock them back and take them out or use them as like a kind of a platform mechanic, kind of activating switches and stuff like that. It is super dope.
It is super dope.
Excited for it.
That sounds cool.
I have played it. It is super dope. It's definitely reminiscent of, for like listeners out there, it's reminiscent of a lot of games, like You'll see a lot of Shovel Knight in there. You'll hear a lot of Shovel Knight in there. Some Jake Kaufman style.
Yeah, we can't. You can't avoid the comparisons, man.
No, I mean let's not. You know, you'll see. I mean, it's definitely inspired by it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's a great place to be inspired from.
And I think like we have a really talented team working on it. I really love the key art as well. We have an excellent artist called Sina Furi. He's working on the art for us, it's checking all the right boxes for me, I think.
Hell yeah!
And I'm not just saying it because I'm working on it, because I work for the company that's making it. It's something that I would immediately gravitate towards if I saw it on the store. I'm just like, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah,
and it has been like I'm playing it practically every day. But it has a really, what I like about it the most, it has a really kind of like tight, kind of like feeling of rhythm to it mechanically. Like you can run through a stage, you're bouncing across platforms, you're landing on enemies, you're taking them out. They are colliding with each other and having kind of like knock-on effect, kind of domino effect of them. And once you get into the rhythm of like how, Batboy operates and some of his skills work, you find yourself just kind of like, not speed running, but just kind of like gliding through stages skillfully.
Yeah. I mean,
it's probably such a good feeling. It's probably really satisfying.
As an outsider, like it definitely, seeing it at Bit Summit, back in May or whenever Bit Summit was, like it was a title that like I knew was for me. And there were, this is not me saying this because you're my friend. Like I would say your game sucks if I probably wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't be. I would never say that I would say the game sucked if it did suck. So what I mean is, like it called to me. It was definitely one of the few titles at Bit Summit that was like, that's my type of game. And it's really weird when you mentioned the flute, like the rhythm, because it did feel really fluid to me, and I am looking forward to it. I think a lot of people that like games that Kinsey or I like will definitely be called to this game as well.
Nice. Thank you, man. Yeah. So like, what Batboy can do himself, it kind of like you feel yourself using those skills, and you kind of get through the level quite easily and doing what he does. He has like a nice cool little bat spin that he throws, and the bat spins in the air for a little while. You can use that as a platform and stuff. But as you play the game, there's some cool boss encounters in there, and it's not a spoiler to say like the bosses are his friends, because he's a Sentai hero, right? So he needs a team.
I mean, isn't that real life in a nutshell? Like the biggest bosses in your life are like your mom, and then it's like your boss, and then it's like it's always somebody you know. Like,
so
that's fair.
You'll like. Batboy will be reunited with some of his friends, and he'll have to like deal with them. But then there's some skill unlocking, ability unlocking from them as well that kind of really opens up the game later on, and you can revisit areas and just kind of play through a different way and discover secrets.
Do we have a date?
Not yet.
Do we have any exclusive that you can give this podcast here right now? Batboy coming to the 3DS.
It is coming out sometime.
Yes.
Coming out sometime.
I can't say too much.
No. That's all good.
Yeah.
No, we're just joshing you, just seeing if we can get
No. Now I'm just like, I'm in PR mode thinking about what I can say, what I've put in press releases and stuff like that. But no, it's going to happen. It's going to be exciting. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be dope.
On a side note, so for people that don't know professional baseball,
I don't know professional baseball.
Yeah, it's totally fine. So if you go to a professional baseball game, you'll see all the adult players. Then, like when they hit the ball, they'll throw the bat to the side, and then there's this always a kid, but he's wearing a fucking uniform, and he'll go and pick up the bat, and his title is Batboy. And as a kid, that's all I wanted to be for the St. Louis Cardinals. I thought that kid was the coolest motherfucker on the planet. I'm not even joking. That was the Batboy, and I was like, I want to be a Batboy. I'm not joking.
Man,
We're
gonna put Mark in the game, by the way.
I wanted to be a Batboy so bad as a kid.
We're gonna change who the character's real identity is to Mark Lentz. It's
Hell yeah.
Ah, it's me.
All along.
I love it. I love it. So since you got like that localization gig, which is awesome, and to get your first AAA credit that way is also awesome. It did make me think of, did you speak Japanese before you came to Japan? Like, was Japan kind of like always on your radar?
Japan has always been on my radar for a long time. I don't want to tell too many kind of long-winded stories, but I just kind of like grew up like most kids who are like interested in like the animes and stuff,
Sure.
and the video games. But the one thing that sold me was my stepdad was a blacksmith, a farrier. He worked with metal.
Oh, cool.
And he had this really cool book on like the history of like Japanese sword making and stuff like that. And it had like lots of cool kind of like cultural and historical pieces in it. And like, Japan seems so cool. I want to go there one day. And I did. So Japan has always been on my radar from a very young age. My Japanese still sucks, by the way, though. I'm still.
You're
It's
improving.
hard.
You're improving.
I'm
I mean,
improving.
Like, all this stuff takes time. Let's not kid ourselves. you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and Japanese is particularly hard.
The stuff like the localization editing that I did for Kingdom Hearts. It was nothing. Like the work had already been done. My buddy was like the translator for that, and he'd done the work, and I was kind of like going through what he did and making sure
got it. Okay,
all
yeah.
lined up and stuff like that. So
That's still brute work. I'm like that's like brutal stuff to make it like all fit and make it like to localize is like
the guy. I don't want to like tell too many names because I don't know if he wants to. People know who he is, but I don't know if he needs that attention.
but it's up to you. I mean, I don't know who he is.
Super cool guy. Works super hard and he's
Kojima.
Kojima's not
He is localizing into English now. He takes off the mask. It was him all along.
It was me all along.
Batboy.
Oh shit, I know Kojima.
So,
But yeah,
okay.
he worked. Yeah, so
Sure.
he guy's a powerhouse of translation.
got it. One of our buddies, John Riccardi, up at 8-4. Hachino Yon. I actually don't know. I'm just
Totally not that guy, but
yeah. Whatever. Yeah. It's all good.
was an
That's awesome.
Otaru local though, so that's how.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bam.
Yeah, good.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Bam.
Nice.
Pokemon Legends Arceus find is unused room set in different
That's
times.
really small.
Yeah. She's going to be doing the news. She's going to be reading
okay,
it.
that's
Yeah.
a thing.
We just kind of
What is going on with this, by the way?
Can you not like talk about my busted ass computer? The reason I say that is because like I broke this like 2 years ago, and I just don't give a shit. And every single fucking person
Clearly, he
says,
doesn't
"What's
give
going
a
on
shit
here?"
because he reacts that way.
That would drive me absolutely insane if that was my computer.
It does drive me insane, but like I can't do it because I don't do things like that. I don't. If my left
just
eye
gonna do
doesn't work,
scream?
I'm not going to the
Like-
doctor. I just don't do things.
Drive me absolutely.
You know the
nuts.
whole kind of adage: "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." That doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, I mean,
You really should fix it. Broken, Mark.
Eh.
It's a like a MacBook too, right?
Nice one.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice one.
And if you got it fixed when it first happened, it could have been under warranty.
It could have been. Yeah, it's passed. I literally had like 7 months where I was like, one. Yeah, I'm a dipshit. You'll learn that about me real fast. Some things I can't be bothered. All right, I cannot be bothered.
Can't be asked.
I've got a couple more, like some other things that I need to do right now that I just can't be. And if people,
I know how that is.
Samesies.
shall we? You ready?
Hmm? Ready?
For every episode of No More Whoppers that you listen to, we will send you a 25-cent coupon for participating Krogers. How many Krogers are participating? None, but you're still getting the coupon.
And it's like 25 cents in $1985.
Right, so today that's like
28 cents.
No More Whoppers. Take that to the bank and smoke it.
On the HyperX Podcast Network and nomorewhoppers.com.
And now it's time for the news. And if you listened to last week's episodes, you know that I am knuckle deep in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And so, Arceus?
Arceus.
Arceus. I like Ars.
Knuckle deep.
Arceus.
I've never heard that phrase, by the way. I got to call that out. Not a fan.
Knuckle deep?
Not a fan.
Yeah, I was like,
So you go on about Pokemon, for God's sakes. Let's get over that.
Anyways, so fans found an unused room set in a different time period. So it's a modern bedroom, complete with a Nintendo Switch, a TV, a desk, a whole bunch of stuff. And it was found in an exploited PC emulation by a hacker. And so it can't be found in the final version. If you went to your Switch right now, you probably wouldn't be able to find this. But it's pretty cool. Like, the player can't interact with any of the items, and you will, like, clip through the furniture and some of the walls and stuff because, like, it wasn't supposed to be there. But everyone's speculating, like, it's in there. What's it for? Is it for DLC? Do you return to the modern day in this DLC? What do you guys think?
Oh,
I
already know.
don't know.
I already know.
You know?
Yeah, I absolutely know. It's the Pokemon hot coffee scene all over again.
oh,
This is absolutely 100%. Okay, that's what I got.
I was just going to say
You know,
spoiler territory. I didn't know that
knuckle
time
deep.
travel.
Knuckle deep, baby.
Is that a hot coffee?
God, why? I'm leaving. See you guys.
So, yeah, I mean, what could we think besides, like maybe they just left it in?
Something a little bit more wholesome than that.
No, I mean,
Jeez.
it's not wholesome. It's just like they left something in.
Yeah, it could have been like originally you started in the modern world,
Right.
so you saw yourself fall through the time rift, like at the very beginning. It could have been that. It could have nothing to do with DLC. Like, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
think, is they
Right.
were trying to go one direction and they put the intro in another direction. Maybe.
Sounds like
I
a
mean,
placeholder.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
knowing enough about the industry now and like how things work behind the scenes, like there's gonna be there's always kind of like elements and stuff left in the game that just kind of
Oh,
it is
Yeah.
it may act as like a loading area for other items and stuff like that. It could be a placeholder. It could be just unused assets that are just there, or it could be DLC. Who knows?
Probably not, but it
Yeah.
could be.
It could be all of the above. So
Or it was them testing DLC, or it was that, like
speculate with wild abandon.
Yeah,
Go
have
for
fun.
it.
It's probably not that exciting. I'm sorry, Kinsey, that we're downers.
Did we destroy
Hot coffee.
your dreams?
well, you know what everybody loves?
No,
Hot
The
coffee.
environment.
go on.
So Sony will plant a tree for everyone who gets a specific trophy in their new game, Horizon Forbidden West, which I really want to play.
Okay.
And I just found out it's supposed to run well on a base PS4, so I think I'm going to get it.
Wait,
All right, back to the news.
What?
Back to the news. That should have been the news.
That,
Wait.
that is the news.
wait. I can play it on my PS4.
Yeah, I read an article that like it runs fine on a base PS4, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get it
That's like
because I really want to play
it's
it."
in 2 days.
I'm gonna
Coming
get
out
that.
2 days from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first one. Do I need?
Oh well, you should do that.
Okay.
because it's also hella good. It's hella good.
Okay.
I think that might have been my first like real platinum trophy.
It's
Well, it's an easy
a
platinum.
beautiful
Easy
game.
platinum. If not the first, it
I don't know
was
what
my
that
second.
means, but it's a good game.
It's like you 100% it, man. Just did
Got it.
everything. That's how good the game
So-
was.
Yeah. Playing on a tree. Playing on a tree. So what do I have to do? I have to.
So Sony has their Play and Plant program, and they're working with the Arbor Day Foundation, and they'll donate one tree to a forest restoration project for every player who gets the Reached the Daunt trophy,
reach the dawn.
whatever that
baby.
is. I haven't played this game yet, so I don't know what that is. But for every player who gets that, they'll donate a tree to a reforestation project. And this initiative will cover 3 different reforestation projects that are located across the U.S. And I don't know, I just thought this was actually kind of awesome, especially given like what you find out in the first Horizon game
Right.
about like the environment. I think this makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really cool that they're doing it.
Oh, is Horizon some like metaphor for like technology will kill them all, but these are future people, and they don't know technology.
I thought you said you didn't play the game, man.
But one person knows technology, and she's bringing it back with microchips. Did I guess the game in a nutshell?
100% correct.
Yes.
Just kidding. You landed.
About this trophy,
Every
though,
one of those hit.
I will say I hope it's one of the easier trophies. Like, it's like within the first tutorial, bam, here's a tree. Because if I have to, like, play the game for 60 hours and then get the platinum and that's the tree, well, I want to make trees fast.
Make trees fast, baby.
That's true.
Trees fast.
It, like Reach the Daunt is actually the, like, tallest mountain in the game that you don't have to climb for any story bit. And there's not, like, a path, so you have to, like, do that horrible Skyrim shuffle up the side of the cliff.
Not even
And
handholds.
then they'll plant a tree. And I'd be like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's some speedrunning tactics. You got to clip through cliff faces and stuff like that to get to the trophy. I'm like, just let me have the tree very early on. Let me plant it and feel good for playing the game, even though I'm going to feel great for playing the game anyway.
Yep. Now I'm really curious what this
Spreading
Reach
west.
the Daunt is, because that sounds awfully daunting.
Okay, all right, hear me out. I'm gonna be slightly cynical, just slightly. And planting trees doesn't cost that much money. But let's just say it's like $1 or whatever. It's probably something like that. I'm not actually being cynical. I'm like, why can't we do this with all of our games? Why can't we be like, if you buy our game,
That's a
we'll
good
plant a
question.
fucking tree, bro?
There have been other games that have done this, but
Two Eye Labs is gonna do it.
There
Is
was
what
no
I'm saying.
real like
We're gonna
follow
do it.
through. You don't really hear back from what's going on.
Plant a tree. No, you know what? I'm gonna think about this because I see some good shit in this. This is
Yeah, because like there have been games who have done stuff like this in the past. I don't know about this exact thing right off the top of my head, but like on the DS, there was Eco Creature Save the Forest. That's the name of the game, and that was made in like conjunction with a bunch of like wildlife programs, and so it like I don't know if it got like a portion of the materials or what, but like that was all based on like conservation, and it was
Like,
awesome.
There was a I forget which version, what the name of the game is, but there was a Ghost Recon game recently, one of the recent ones.
Kill a terrorist, plant a tree.
No, that does sound like a Ghost Recon.
Ghost
game.
Recon.
But no, it was a limited event. And I was like, it's cool, but you know, can we make it permanent? Can we like plant more trees instead of like within a 2-week period?
Oh, so they had a tree planting program? Ghost Recon? Okay.
But it was attached to a not all that popular game. So I'm like, what impact did it really have? Because, you know, who's playing it, and will they really be interested in like planting trees? Like it didn't feel, to me, it didn't feel like it meshed well with like the source material.
I don't know. I don't
like
think
I said, Horizon Zero Dawn is like, if you know the game, then it's like, oh yeah, ties in nicely.
I'm a deeply cynical person, but I feel like we shouldn't always be. Like I feel like there's some good thought behind this, and even in the Ghost Recon, knowing nothing about it, I feel like there's somebody along the way was like, this is a good idea, and it does make sense. Like if we are in the power, especially PR people, if we're in the power to do this, man, we should take every chance we can. You know.
I have a question, serious question.
No.
No. Sorry. All right. No. Dumb questions from now on, guys.
Yeah.
What kind of social initiative would you put into a game for people to enjoy then? To participate in? What would you add?
I mean, I really like what you were saying this, it like fits so well with the source material. Like if you, off the top of my head, Ghost Recon, they could, instead of planting a tree, you know, knowing all the mountains of information I know about Ghost Recon, you know, what if they helped some like anti-terrorist bills, or they like did something else, or, you know, like made it something that was related to the source material. And I think that's not only a good like PR push when it's related, but it also makes it so not every game's planting trees, and then maybe we can like spread that like goodwill and love around.
So for Batboy,
Yeah.
every trophy you get in Batboy will plant a bat.
There we go. We'll cut a tree down.
We'll cut a tree down and we'll make like
Fuck
one.
'em.
We'll cut a redwood down
There
and
we
make
go.
one single
One-
baseball out
Yeah.
of it, like Acme kind of
Yeah.
mode, like down the conveyor belt thing. That's it. That's our contribution to the environment, everybody.
And there's one guy at the very end who checks and he's like, not good enough. And he throws it in the
It's
burn
like-
pile.
and then just-
Yeah.
Bring in more trees. Yeah. All right. That's what we're going to do.
I asked that as a
That
serious
boy.
question. We got stupid answers. What the hell?
And last but not least, Netflix announced that it's producing a live-action film based on the Bioshock franchise. And they announced it in a tweet recently that they're partnering with 2K and Take-Two for the adaptation. And so, personally, I really love Bioshock. I love all 3 of the games. Like, you know, new one is being worked on. I'm pretty excited about it. I even loved Bioshock 2 when I know that some people, like, crapped on it a little bit. But I still say Bioshock 2 Minerva Den is, like, the best DLC I've ever played, pretty much. And I am really curious about what they're going to do with this because, like, Netflix has produced some real great content, you know, in the last few years. And so I am curious what they're going to do with it because this is what they gave us in the announcement. There's really not, they're doing it.
Right.
Like, that's what we got.
It's happening. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of retweeted out the news as well because Netflix posted it. I was like, oh, damn, Bioshock the movie. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Also, I did kind of like a sub-tweet. It's just like, it's going to be great. Don't F this up. Please don't F this
Yeah.
up.
Please don't.
So I only got Bioshock last year because Kinsey told me to get it, actually. And
Oh, that's right.
yeah, and I played and beat the first one, and I did not take a crap on the second one, as Kinsey put it.
Neither did I. I enjoyed it.
It was fine. It was, or whatever phrase you said. Some people take a crap on this game. That's a weird phrase. I don't care about the story at all. But I'll say this: the setting's super dope. And
Would you kindly
yeah.
care about the story?
what? Crap on the story?
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly there? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Clearly, you didn't play the
Yeah.
play for the story.
But yeah, because
Oh my
I was so
God.
bored. But like I don't know, he's like lost in some fucking submarine shit. Who cares? But it does it does look really cool, and I could see it being
Close enough.
I could see it being a fun I don't know, it's like a great world building kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, who gives a shit about the story?
I'm very intrigued to see how well they pull off the city. I completely blanked on what the city was called. Is it Rapture? No.
Yeah.
It was Rapture. No,
Yeah,
what
it's
city was Rapture? Okay, I was right.
Mhm.
Really excited to see how they pull that off.
Rapture.
I think
Yeah,
the
me too.
big question that's on everybody's minds when they think about the Bioshock movie is how they're going to pull off the Big Daddy. Sorry,
Mhm.
phrasing. That sounded weird, didn't it? How
Yeah.
do they pull off the Big Daddy?
I'm hoping that it's I'm hoping it's stop motion like Ed 209 from
That'd be kinda
RoboCop.
dope.
Like re. Like,
That was Phil Tippett.
good point.
Good fucking. That was
But
really
Oh,
good
I
stuff.
can't wait.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. Some just like
That'd be
stop
so
motion.
cool.
Like, even though that doesn't make any sense, but that was a good
Like,
point.
Big Daddies
more
are gonna be
practical
cool,
effects, less CGI, more practical effects.
Yes, agreed.
Yes.
The more practical effects, the better.
Yeah. for sure.
Like, I can't wait for that first, like, screenshot of, like, a little sister or a big daddy, or even just, like, the atmosphere would be great. Like, I am just very excited this is happening because I love that series.
I want to see how crazy the splicers get as well. Just see them just go mental, just like
Yeah.
So for me, someone who doesn't care about the story, like it's more about the atmosphere, and I want to see the world where like as much in camera effects as possible, because like that world is so cool, and I wouldn't want it to
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the water to feel really digital as like something crashes down. I'd want it to feel like really alien, like the first movie where like it's claustrophobic and like things are leaking slowly and there's rusty toilets, and like I want it to
Yeah.
really feel like
like they
archaic.
should like find like there's got to be like those massive kind of like pools they use for like water scenes in movies, and just kind of like sink some like environments under there, and
I
have
bet they
people
will,
running
though.
around.
I bet they
So
will.
there's real
Like they did for The Abyss.
The Abyss,
Oh.
one of the most expensive
Yeah.
failures of all time.
That's the angle they should be taking with the Bioshock movie. Go the route of The Abyss.
I bet they will to an extent. I'm sure they will actually.
1920s kind of like kitsch, kind of like The Abyss.
It does sound kind of cool, like that. Titanic plus
Yeah.
the Abyss.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Right.
just like golden statues all over the place, and just
Mm-hmm.
people in bunny
And I hope
bunny
it's, like,
masks.
Yes, I hope it's like takes a lot from the first game, where that is way more atmospheric and spooky than the other two are. So I really hope that it like kind of pulls from there more so than the other ones. But
Hell yeah.
we'll see.
Sick.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Dunn, host of the O3C podcast. Every week I'm joined by my two best gaming buddies, Chris and Minty, and we talk about the games we're playing, the games we love, and how they rank alongside our sacrosanct top 100 favourite video games of all time lists. Deep dives into gaming mechanics, history and lore abound, all topped off with lashings of irreverent wry British wit, witterings and wisdom. For details on the show and more, head to o3c.games and tune in every Monday on the HyperX Podcast Network.
And now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your questions from Discord. If you ever want to ask us a question that we can answer on the podcast, just go right on over to the Chew High Labs Discord, go to the Call Me Up thread thing, and ask it there.
Fucking
I never
do
know what
it.
they're called.
Fucking,
Channel?
Yeah,
I guess it's a-
whatever. Just go to Discord, you dicks.
First question for Adam is, why are you there?
You're like,
Dear
fuck, man, I don't
Adam,
know.
why are you there?
Who is this guy? Is he important? Should he even be on the show?
He reminds me of a toilet. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
What? Is it because people like peeing in my mouth, Mark?
All right. So, question.
There it is. That's why.
The
First question.
Is
When did you know you wanted to work in games?
let's throw
Yeah,
that.
yes,
direct-
Mark.
Good question.
Let's throw that to you.
Oh, it's me first.
Yeah.
When did I want to know I wanted to work in games? Since I started playing them. No, I don't really know if
Yeah,
there was like
that's a good answer.
a formative moment. Like it's kind of like it struck me like this is what I want to do. It's just like this is a medium that I love. How do I do it? How do I get like?
Mhm.
Well, like we mentioned before, like taking like the scenic route to getting into the industry. I don't think I will have many kind of technical skills in making games. I'm a writer. I'm creative in a literary sense, but I don't have any kind of like technical skills. I'm terrible at math. I'm terrible at programming. But yeah, like I just figured like I would make it happen and find a way that I could get in. But yeah,
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kinsey, what about you?
I guess in a weird way, kind of the same,
Weird.
but also kind of different because I've been playing games also my whole life and I've always loved video games. And it was kind of weird though. Growing up, I never thought about games as something I could do for a living. And I don't know why I never thought of that, like reading Nintendo Power and Play Magazine and all these things, I don't know why I was never like, I could do this.
Right.
And so when I went to college, I went for science. And so I was doing like environmental science and biology and stuff and like totally not games. And by the time I got out of college and got a job in science, I was like, and then I started realizing I could get a job in games.
Right.
And I was like, damn, Kinsey, you done fucked up. So
you fucked up.
I like fell into meeting people on Twitter actually and started working freelance PR in games and slowly worked my way into it. But I kind of had this like aha moment, like just talking to my friends and working and like when I worked in like a rock lab, like testing rocks, like and thinking like, I don't know if this is where I want to be. And then they're like, well, you fucking love video games. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, but I don't know why I didn't think of it as a career possibility when I was younger, but I did not. But I'm happy to be here now because, like all of us here, I've loved games my whole life.
Right. I mean, I think think you brought up something that a lot of people, our listeners, and also like all three of us here, kind of went through. Like none of us knew you could do games. Like we weren't allowed to know that. It seems weird, but like it wasn't a job opportunity.
I do feel like I want to kind of mend my initial answer a little bit because like, always wanted to do it, but I guess it didn't really like click for me until I started like hanging out with the community and kind of like understanding how I could apply myself into the industry or what was available as a role.
Oh, same.
Like understanding the industry, like understanding like positions that people worked in and what they did in the job description, were just like, oh, I actually have kind of relevant experience to get into that. So
same here, actually.
kind of like that was a kind of a clicking point, but always wanted to get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know, 2000. For me, it was actually probably reading oneup.com back in the day and being like, these are normal people and they're outsiders at the same time. And they're exposing that there's a lot more to games than like, it's not this mythical thing. It's like, it's very approachable. And that's kind of that's when I knew, I think probably around 2008 or so, I was like, I really want to do this, but I didn't join the games industry until 2017. So it took me 9 years to actually gestate that and process that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And our next question is.
Yeah. I want to do it. All right.
Yeah, do it.
This is from Steven, one of our mods of the Discord.
I know that guy.
Yeah,
hey, Steven.
He says, what's the best meal you've had so far in 2022? Kinsey Burke, what's the best meal you've had?
So I was trying to think about this one. When I saw this question, I was like, oh, that's a good fucking question.
Right.
And then I was like, what's mine? I don't know.
Wow, there's a lot of fucking build up for that.
I know. I have no idea. I mean, to be fair, like I really haven't like gone out too much this year. And then I guess I've been cooking way more at home. And I'm a horrible cook. So we've been getting those like meal kits.
Right.
So that way, at least I know I have all the ingredients and all of that, like I don't have to be like, oh, we can make this. Oh, no, we can't. We're out of X. And I hate that. But we made some okonomiyaki. That was amazing and really easy. So I feel like that's like way more approachable now. And it was delicious. And then there's this other thing we made that was like a nacho cheese macaroni. And it was bomb.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Nacho cheese
so
macaroni.
good.
Adam Bolton, what's the best meal you've had of 2022?
His thing. We actually had lunch last week, a little over last week.
Okay. Go on.
And again, in the same situation as like I haven't had many.
No. Get back to the part where you're about to thank me.
I was like, damn, where'd you guys go?
So I haven't had many opportunities to actually go out and eat. It's been a lot of Uber Eats, to be honest. And kind of conveniently food. Conveniently food's great, but I forget the place where we went to.
We went to Mr. Maurice's Italian.
Mr. Maurice's, and I had like this duck lasagna. I think I can't remember the exact title, but oh my god, it was such a rich kind of like crispy lasagna that had like really nice sauce, but like the duck meat was like almost like a pulled pork texture as well.
Duck
so it's all
lasagna.
Duck. Oh my god. It was
duck is so good.
I like lasagna, and I'm like kind of like a Garfield kind of thing. I want a big vat of it to like scarf down. But this was a small portion. But even then, it was just like, oh my god, it's like eating the Mona Lisa. Beautiful.
Eating the Mona Lisa, which is what he said when he was eating it too. And I'm like, that's a pretty good phrase.
Did I say that?
You did.
Well, there we go. Said it twice.
I'm gonna have to get me some duck lasagna when I move.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I also,
what do you got?
Thank you, Mark. You did pay for me.
This is Josh and you. But yeah, I am great. So for me,
great.
no,
thank you, sir.
I'll tell you the worst meal I had. I'm not going to tell you the best meal. Last night I had. Well, I don't give a shit. Last night, so I had my health check this morning, and I had to drink liquid barium. Okay, this is not a meal. Liquid.
No,
this
it is.
Just
It's
gonna
a
say
barium
that.
meal.
This is
That's
not
what
a
it's
meal.
called.
Can let me finish. So I wasn't allowed to eat
Google
the
this.
night before. So last night when I was at home, I totally forgot this, and I cooked for 3 hours. I made goulash, and then right when I put it is barium meal. Good. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. So for listeners, he just showed me on his phone that the thing I had this morning was a meal. Anyway, I made goulash and I plated it, and I was about to eat it. You know, I spent time on this fucking goulash.
Mm.
And then right as I was about to eat it, I'm like, oh, motherfucker, I can't even eat.
Ah,
Oh, wait, it's on the plate
it
in
was
front of
on
you?
the plate. I plated it.
Oh,
so it's sitting in my fridge, and it'll still be good. You know, it's goulash. It'll be great. But that's the worst meal I haven't had.
Coming soon from HyperX. The Cloud Alpha Wireless gets up to 300 hours of battery life, so you'll spend less time charging your headset and more time charging into the action. Hear audio cues with pinpoint precision thanks to the dual chamber drivers enhanced by premium DTS Headphone X spatial audio. Up to 300 hours of battery, 2 chambers, 0 wires. The Cloud Alpha Wireless. Available soon at HyperX.com, HP.com, Amazon, Best Buy, Micro Center, and more fine retailers.
Nasty Labs. Nasty Labs.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening. And first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Adam. And that was so much fun. I'm so glad we finally got to do
Yay.
this. So,
yeah,
where
I'm so happy
can
we got to
people
touch
find
base,
you?
Finally. Where can people find me?
Yeah!
So I use Twitter mostly these days, so you can find me at ads in Japan, ADSINJAPAN. You can also find our game socials at X Plus Games.
X Plus Games.
At X Plus Games on Twitter.
And right now, you have how many games coming out?
We're no games coming out. We're now just working.
Got Batboy coming out.
On Batboy.
You can wishlist
Just-
right
just-
now
yeah,
on
wishlist
Steam,
Batboy. It's,
which I have done, and
The demo
everyone
is
else should
also,
do.
we've got an updated demo on Steam and itch.io, so you can actually test it out yourself. It's the
I didn't
first
know
2
that.
levels.
Okay.
Awesome.
The Bit Summit demo actually ended abruptly at the second boss, but now you can fight through the whole thing. We've got some nice kind of UI
Hell
updates
yeah.
and stuff. So go check out the demo, itch.io, Batboy, and Batboy on Steam.
Wishlist that motherfucker now.
Yes, please.
And you can find me. Thanks, by the way. You can find me.
Where can we find you, Mark?
Twitter.com/thehenrydemos. Kinsey Burke.
You can find me at Kinzilla, KINSZILLA, on pretty much every social media. I mostly use Twitter, though. And of course, you can follow Chew High Labs at Chew High Labs on all the things. And as always, you can get car snowboarding right now on Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is available on the Nintendo eShop, on the Switch, and you can wishlist Cursed to Golf on Steam right now.
Yes.
So big thanks to the HyperX Podcast Network, and thanks to y'all for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Chorus. I like it. Oh yeah, before we continue, actually, Mark, I just want to really thank you for putting me on this podcast.
What
I
kind
love
of joke
everything that's
are
happening
you
right now.
possibly doing?